right. So we're going to dive into a story that sounds like something straight out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're talking about a Bitcoin heist.
Wow.
$230 million
Okay.
gone.
Like huge.
And the mastermind behind it all,
Yeah.
a 20-year-old living the high life in Miami.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
It's crazy.
It really does kind of challenge the image we have, I think, of like cyber criminals, right?
Right.
It's not like some shadowy figure hiding in a basement.
Yeah, definitely not.
This is Malone Lam,
Yeah.
flaunting his wealth.
Uh,
But beneath that flashy exterior,
yeah.
an intricate web of cybercrime.
So how did he do it?
Yeah, how did he pull it off?
How did Lamb?
How did he and his accomplice, Trundle Serrano from Los Angeles,
Okay.
manage to pull off such a massive heist?
Yeah.
We've got articles here detailing their methods.
Right.
And honestly, it's pretty fascinating.
I bet.
A bit unsettling to see how they combine different techniques.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Though, really?
How did they really exploited both technological vulnerabilities and human psychology, using a combination of phishing,
Right.
social engineering, and SIM swapping attacks.
Okay, so those are some pretty sophisticated techniques.
Yes.
But I mean, those aren't new techniques.
That's what brand new. No.
But the way they were employed in this case
Right.
was particularly clever.
They were very good at what they did.
Okay, so phishing.
Yeah.
Most of us have at least heard of that.
Yeah.
Could you break it down for us?
Sure.
Give some examples.
So phishing basically is like you get an email
Okay.
and it looks exactly like it's from your cryptocurrency exchange.
Okay.
You know, it has the logo, it has the brand, and
Right.
everything seems totally legitimate.
Yeah.
But the link in the email actually takes you to a fake website
Ugh,
that's designed to steal your login credentials.
that's scary.
It is pretty scary.
I feel like I'm pretty good at spotting those.
Yeah.
But you're right, some of them can be incredibly convincing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What about social engineering?
So social
How
engineering,
does that work?
it really preys on our trust and our willingness to help.
Okay.
So it could be like a phone call
Okay.
from someone claiming to be from your bank.
Right.
They need to verify some account details.
Mhm.
Or it could be like a really well-crafted message on social media
Yeah.
designed to trick you into revealing sensitive information.
So it's all about manipulating people into taking actions that benefit the attacker.
Exactly.
And this is where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they also used SIM swapping attacks.
Right.
Which seem even more insidious.
Yeah, that's where
How do those work?
SIM swapping is particularly dangerous.
Okay.
Because it allows the attackers to actually bypass a lot of our security measures.
Right.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
So much of our online security relies on our phone numbers.
Yeah. Two-factor authentication, password, resets. It all goes through our phones.
Exactly.
So if someone can hijack your phone number.
They essentially take control of your entire digital identity.
Wow.
They can trick your mobile carrier into transferring your number to a SIM card that they control.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So they can access your accounts, drain your wallets,
Mm-hmm.
and just wreak havoc.
Pretty much.
And in this case, they weren't just targeting one or two individuals.
No.
Right.
It was a big operation.
We're talking about a large-scale operation with numerous victims.
Yes, they were very organized.
Okay.
So the articles mentioned that they would identify high-value targets.
Right.
Often those who publicly discuss their cryptocurrency holdings.
Wow, so they were doing their homework.
Yes, very much so.
But what's even more impressive,
Yeah.
or maybe terrifying,
Yeah.
is how they tried to cover their tracks after stealing all this Bitcoin.
Right.
We're talking about millions of dollars.
It's a lot of money.
You'd think there'd be a trail a mile wide.
Right, you would think.
and-
But that's where things get really interesting. So they didn't just spend the Bitcoin on flashy purchases.
Okay.
They went to great lengths to launder it.
Okay, how do you launder cryptocurrency?
Yeah, how do you?
It's all digital, right?
It is.
Doesn't that leave a record?
It does,
Right.
but there are ways to make those records much harder to follow.
Oh, really?
One method they use is called a crypto tumbling.
Crypto tumbling.
Yeah.
What is that?
This is like a...
Some sort of digital washing machine for dirty Bitcoin?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
It involves mixing different Bitcoins together,
Okay.
making it difficult to trace the origin and destination of the funds.
Okay, so it's like a digital shell game,
Yeah.
making it harder to follow the money.
Exactly.
And they didn't stop there.
No.
Okay.
They also use decentralized exchanges,
Okay.
which operate outside traditional financial systems,
Okay.
adding another layer of anonymity.
So they're bouncing this stolen Bitcoin all over the place,
Right.
trying to make it impossible to trace back to them.
That's the goal.
Pretty impressive if you're a criminal mastermind, I guess.
From a technical standpoint, their operation was remarkably sophisticated.
Yeah.
But despite all their efforts,
No.
they made mistakes.
They made mistakes.
And those mistakes would ultimately prove to be their undoing.
Like what? Like leaving incriminating evidence on their laptops?
Well, we'll get into the specifics of their downfall in a moment.
Okay.
But the key takeaway here is that even the most elaborate schemes
Yeah.
can unravel
Right.
when human error comes into play.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So we've seen how they pulled this off.
Yeah.
This incredible heist
It's pretty amazing.
using a combination of technical savvy and manipulation.
Right.
But what does all this mean for the average person?
That's a great question.
Because while most of us aren't dealing with hundreds of millions of Bitcoin,
Right.
the tactics they used can be applied on a smaller scale to target anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this case really highlights the fact that cybercrime is becoming increasingly democratized. Okay.
You know, the tools and techniques are readily available,
Right.
and the potential rewards are high.
So it's something we should all be thinking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or just starting out,
Doesn't matter.
it's important to be aware of the risks
Yes.
and to take steps to protect yourself.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about some practical advice.
Okay.
We've already touched on phishing, social engineering, and SIM swapping,
Right.
but let's dig a little deeper
Okay.
and discuss how we can safeguard ourselves.
Sure.
So phishing,
Yeah.
often the first point of attack, what should people be looking out for?
So phishing attacks are all about tricking you
Uh,
into revealing sensitive information.
okay.
So the key is to be incredibly skeptical
Right.
of any unsolicited communication,
Okay.
especially if it asks you to click on a link
Yeah.
or to download an attachment.
You know, I've gotten pretty good at hovering over links
Okay.
to check the actual URL before clicking anything.
But sometimes even those can be disguised.
Yeah, they can be very clever.
So what else should we be looking for?
Well, pay close attention to the sender's email address.
Okay.
Look for misspellings,
Yeah.
slight variations from the official domain,
Uh-huh.
or anything that seems off.
Right.
And if you're ever in doubt,
Yeah.
reach out to the company
Or-
or organization directly,
Through their official website.
right through their official website
Good.
or phone number,
Got it.
just to verify the legitimacy of the communication.
So always double check.
Always double check.
What about social engineering?
So social engineering.
It seems like those attacks are harder to spot
Yeah, they can be.
because they play on our emotions and our willingness to trust.
Exactly.
So how do we protect ourselves from that?
Well, with social engineering, it's all about building rapport
Okay.
and creating a sense of urgency or fear.
Okay.
The attacker might impersonate someone you know
Oh, okay.
or pretend to be from an authority figure
Right.
to gain your trust.
So if someone calls claiming to be from my bank
Right.
and asks for my account details,
Mm-hmm.
what should I do?
Hang up
Okay.
and call the bank directly to verify.
Through the official number.
Yes, always.
Okay.
Never give out sensitive information over the phone
Right.
or through email.
Unless you initiated the contact
Exactly.
and you're absolutely certain of the other party's identity.
Correct.
Okay.
That's super important.
And now the one that really gives me chills,
Yeah,
SIM swapping.
that one's scary.
What can we do to protect ourselves from that?
Yeah, because it seems like once they have your phone number, they have access to everything.
Exactly.
It's a serious threat.
Yeah.
But there are steps you can take to mitigate the risk.
Good.
So first, contact your mobile carrier
Okay.
and inquire about their security measures to prevent SIM swapping.
Okay.
Some carriers will let you set up a PIN
Okay.
or a password.
Okay.
That must be provided before any changes can be made to your account.
So it's about being proactive,
Yes.
adding those extra layers of security. What else can we do?
Be extremely cautious about sharing personal information online,
Okay.
especially on social media.
Right.
Attackers can use this information to impersonate you or to answer security questions.
So be careful what you post
Very careful.
and be wary of any unsolicited calls or messages from your carrier
Yeah,
asking for personal information.
don't give it out.
So be skeptical, be proactive,
Yeah.
and protect your personal information.
That's the key.
All good advice.
Yeah.
But let's say, hypothetically speaking,
Okay.
that despite all our best efforts,
Yeah,
someone manages to get past our defenses and steal our crypto.
right.
Is there any hope?
Is there any hope of recovering those funds?
Yeah.
It's definitely more challenging,
Okay.
but not impossible. That's
Uh,
where blockchain analysis firms come in.
Blockchain analysis firms.
Yes.
What are those?
So these are specialized companies that can track cryptocurrency transactions on the blockchain,
Okay.
even if the funds have been moved through tumblers or exchanges.
So they're like the digital detectives of the cryptocurrency world.
That's a good way to put it.
I like that.
They use sophisticated software and techniques
Okay.
to follow the trail of transactions
Uh-huh.
and potentially identify the individuals or entities behind them.
That's reassuring to know.
It is helpful.
But it also makes you realize how important it is to choose secure storage methods
Yes.
for your cryptocurrency.
In the first place.
In the first place.
That's key.
Okay, so let's talk about hardware wallets.
Okay.
We've mentioned them a few times.
Yeah.
But for those who aren't familiar,
Sure.
could you explain what they are
Yeah.
and why they're considered so secure?
Okay. So a hardware wallet is a physical device,
Okay.
kind of like a USB drive,
Okay.
that stores your cryptocurrency offline.
Okay.
And the key difference is that your private keys,
Okay.
which are essential for accessing and managing your cryptocurrency,
Right.
are never exposed to the internet.
So even if your computer gets hacked or infected with malware,
Right.
your cryptocurrency is safe because it's stored offline on this separate device.
It acts as a sort of digital vault,
Okay.
keeping your crypto secure.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a good option.
I've heard there are different types of hardware wallets available.
There are.
What should people look for when choosing one?
Well, there are definitely a few things to consider.
Okay.
First, you want to make sure that the wallet supports the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
You want to store.
Right.
Not all wallets are created equal in that regard.
So compatibility is key.
Definitely.
What else?
Security features are paramount.
Okay.
Look for wallets with robust security protocols,
Like what?
like secure element chips
Okay.
and PAN protection,
Got it.
and consider the reputation of the manufacturer.
Okay.
Do they have a track record of producing secure and reliable devices?
So do your research.
Yeah, do your homework.
And choose a reputable brand.
Exactly.
Anything else.
And don't forget about ease of use.
Okay.
Some wallets are more user-friendly than others.
Right.
Think about your own technical proficiency.
Yeah.
And choose a wallet that feels comfortable
Right.
and intuitive to use.
Okay. So we've talked about protecting ourselves from these specific attacks,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like the world of cryptocurrency is constantly evolving.
It is.
New threats are emerging all the time.
That's right.
How can we stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, how can we make sure we're not caught off guard?
Yeah.
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time fix.
Right.
It's about staying informed,
Yeah.
adapting to new threats, and being proactive in your approach to security.
So what are some resources or strategies that you recommend for staying up to date?
Okay, well, there are some great online resources
Okay.
that provide information and analysis on cybersecurity in the cryptocurrency space.
Like what?
Websites like CoinDesk
Okay.
and Cointelegraph are good places to start.
I've heard of those.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
You can also follow security researchers
Okay.
and experts on social media.
So it's about curating your information sources,
Yeah.
making sure you're getting information from trusted experts.
Exactly.
What about the community?
Yeah, the community is great.
Is there a good crypto community out there?
There is.
Okay.
Join in online forums
Okay.
or groups dedicated to cryptocurrency security
Okay.
can be a valuable way to share information
Right.
and to learn from others' experiences.
That makes sense. It's like anything else. The more you learn,
Right.
the more you share with others, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't just about protecting your own assets.
Okay.
It's about creating a more secure and resilient ecosystem
Right.
for everyone
Okay.
involved in the world of cryptocurrency.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We have.
We've talked about the specific tactics used in this case, how to protect ourselves,
Yeah.
and the importance of ongoing education and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But this case also raises some bigger questions
It does.
about the role of governments and regulations in this space, right?
Definitely.
So what kind of regulations are we talking about?
Well, this heist,
Yeah.
along with other high-profile cybercrimes,
Uh-huh.
has put a spotlight on the need for stronger regulations
Okay.
and enforcement.
So what are governments doing to try to rein in this Wild West?
Well, we're seeing a global push
Okay.
for stricter know your customer, KYC,
Okay.
and anti-money laundering, AML regulations
Uh-huh.
in the cryptocurrency space.
And what do those regulations aim to do?
So these regulations aim to increase transparency and accountability,
Okay.
making it more difficult for criminals to operate anonymously.
So it's about bringing cryptocurrency more in line with traditional financial systems
Exactly.
in terms of regulations and oversight
Right. The idea is to strike a balance. Okay.
between fostering innovation
Right.
and protecting consumers
Yeah.
and the integrity of the financial system.
But isn't there a risk that too much regulation could stifle innovation?
There is a risk
Yeah.
and discourage people from participating in the cryptocurrency economy.
I mean, one of the initial appeals of cryptocurrency was its decentralized nature.
Right.
And its freedom from government control.
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's a debate that's happening right now
Wait.
within the industry and among policymakers.
So what's the answer?
Well, the challenge is finding the right balance,
Right.
creating a regulatory framework
Uh-huh.
that provides adequate consumer protection
Yeah.
without stifling the growth and potential of this technology.
It sounds like a complex issue
It is.
with no easy answers.
There's no easy solution.
But it's clear that this case is
Yeah.
forcing us to confront these questions
It is.
and figure out how to move forward in a
Uh-huh.
way that's both secure and innovative.
So where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
What are some of the key takeaways that we want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I think it boils down to a few key points.
Okay.
First, awareness is paramount.
Okay.
The more we understand the threats,
Uh-huh.
the better equipped we'll be to protect ourselves.
Okay.
Second, being proactive is crucial.
Right.
Don't wait for something bad to happen
Right.
before you take steps to secure your accounts
Oh.
and your digital assets.
And third,
And third, remember that cybersecurity is an ongoing process.
so stay informed.
Stay informed.
Adapt to new threats.
Yes,
Be willing to learn and evolve.
exactly.
And I think this case is a reminder that cybercrime doesn't discriminate.
That's right.
It can affect anyone,
Anyone.
regardless of their age,
Doesn't matter.
technical expertise,
Nope.
or financial status.
We all need to be careful.
So we all have a role to play in creating a more secure digital world by taking these steps to protect ourselves and by engaging in these conversations.
Right.
We can collectively make a difference.
We can.
It's really something, isn't it?
What's that?
Just the contrast, I mean,
Yeah.
between the audacity of the crime
Uh-huh.
and the seemingly ordinary background
Right.
of the guy behind it.
Of the alleged mastermind.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty wild.
It's a reminder that the face of cybercrime is changing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
It's not just shadowy figures in hoodies anymore.
Right,
It could be the young guy next door living a lavish lifestyle.
exactly. It really challenges our preconceived notions
Yeah.
about who cyber criminals are and how they operate.
It really underscores the idea that anyone with the right skills and enough motivation
Yeah,
can exploit vulnerabilities in the digital world.
that's the scary part.
So we can't afford to be complacent.
No, not at all.
We all need to be aware of the risks
Right.
and take steps to protect ourselves.
Regardless of how tech savvy we think we are, yeah, I think that's a great point.
It's a wake-up call for everybody.
So let's take a step back and recap the key takeaways from our deep dive into this case.
Okay, sounds good.
So we started by exploring the sheer scale of the crime,
$230 million in Bitcoin,
vanishing into thin air.
allegedly orchestrated by a 20-year-old.
It's crazy.
It's mind-boggling.
Then we talked about the methods,
Right.
phishing attacks, social engineering tactics, and SIM swapping techniques.
All very sophisticated.
And then they tried to cover their tracks.
Yeah, they did.
Using crypto tumblers, decentralized exchanges, and offshore accounts.
Like a digital maze.
But as we learned, even the most elaborate schemes can unravel.
Oh, yeah, human error.
They made mistakes.
Right. They left behind digital breadcrumbs.
And that's what led to the FBI tracking them down.
Yeah.
The raid on their homes. And now they're facing serious charges.
Potentially decades in prison.
And from this case, we talked about the broader implications.
Right. For cybersecurity in the age of cryptocurrency.
We talked about practical steps.
Be wary of phishing attempts.
Yeah. Use multi-factor authentication.
Definitely.
And use secure storage methods like hardware wallets.
Hardware wallets are a great option.
And we also discussed the push for stricter regulations.
Yeah. KYC and
So
AML.
your customer.
Anti-money laundering.
So it's a complex issue.
It is.
But it's clear that we need to find a balance.
Right. Between security and innovation.
So what's the final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important takeaway is that the world of cryptocurrency is still evolving.
Yeah.
And with its immense potential comes inherent risk.
That's true.
But by staying informed, being proactive, and adopt a security-conscious mindset,
Okay.
we can navigate this landscape safely and responsibly.
Well said. Knowledge is power.
It really is.
And in the world of cryptocurrency, that's truer than ever.
Absolutely.
So stay vigilant, stay curious, and keep exploring
Yeah, keep learning.
the fascinating and ever-changing world of digital assets.
It's an exciting world.
This has been The Deep Dive.
And we'll see you next time.
For another deep dive into the depths of knowledge.
If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into more cases like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like the video if you found the story compelling, and share it with your friends and family who might be interested in true crime and mysteries. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date with all our latest content and join a growing community of curious minds exploring the most fascinating cases. Click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything.